All right. So if I do that, I've got A00, omega 00 equal to all this, which of course is equal to m over r squared, square root of f, times E1 wedge E0. Right? No, that's not true. Sorry. I can't, two form not equal to one form? Nonsense, right? What I mean to say is we need to look at DE0. Oh, God. All right, well. All right, well, we now understand what the calculation is, right? It's going to take a while to actually think through this, but all right.
Omega 00 is are we remember right?
No, omega 00 is a one form. So like
omega A0 would have 4 values.
There's a bunch of simplifications we can make here. Just like I think omega 00 is like automatically 0 for reasons I'm forgetting, which for shame, but I need to like review a bit myself. All right, sorry, my bad. But we just need to come to terms with this, right? If I put 0 here, right? That puts 0 here, which puts 0 here, which puts 0 here. And so we're getting information. We're getting information about the 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, and 0, 3 forms, but only partial information, you see, because anything that involves the 0 direction for omega 00, 0, we don't get any information about that because this wedges to 0. This one, it only gives me information about omega 0, 1 in the non-1 directions. Like this says something about the connection form in the 0, 1 connection form in the 0, 2, or 3 directions.
And that's really not trivial because DE0 has to form E1 wedge 0.
DE1 wedge E0. Oh, okay, yeah. So you're...
So 2 and 3 are 0 because those would have E2 wedge 0.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, let me get rid of this for a second. I think what you just said is gold. It's gold. What do you say? You said omega what?
Omega, well, the 2 and 3 terms are trivial because...
But omega upper 0, lower 2, and omega upper 0, lower 3 have to be 0.
Because if they weren't 0, then you'd have something wedgy 2, which is not... Well, that's not entirely true.
But it could be over here that it's compensating for it, right? Because I could have a 1, I could have the 1 coming from I could have the E sub 1 coming from over here. So I could have that the E1, 2, I could have like the E2, 1 gets counteracted by the E1, 2 over here. So sadly, it's not quite that simple.
Omega lower 2 upper 0
But
is in the 0 direction.
yeah,
So it's something E0.
Listen, so here's the way I solve them, these kind of problems, is I don't derive them in the sense of like, I don't rigorously solve them. What I do is I look for a solution. And if I can find a solution, and then I just make everything else 0. Once I've, it's kind of like when we find a vector potential for a vector field. There's many solutions. I just hack my way through the things to find one. Kind of like that here. So let's try to think in a more, rather than think of things being 0, what could be non-zero and interesting? to get that.
For the second term.
I need what? Omega what?
Omega upper 0, lower 1.
Oh, lower, omega upper 0, lower 1 equal to?
Minus m over r squared root f.
Minus m
M over r squared root f.
over r squared root f.
It has to be positive because it's going to switch.
If I do that, that gives me,
Something E1 wedge E0.
oh, and I need the E0 here, right? So then that, wedged with that, gives me E0 wedge E1, but flippy flop, then I get the plus.
Well, I think it doesn't need to not have a minus sign.
I think it needs to have the minus sign because back up here, if I go,
Minus omega 0, 1.
oh,
Like the positive, and you got to switch it again for the wedge product.
okay. I'll trust you. So we conjecture that that is part of the story. All right. You haven't been looking at this, have you? All right, just checking. So we are told that one of the non-zero components is omega 0 lower 1 equals to m over r squared times e upper 0. You've got no root f. Now the question is he right? Or is chat?
No. Did you get the same DE0?
That's a good question. Is DE0 an agreement? I will post the PDF of this in Canvas. I think I can do. I don't think I should post it publicly because it's, but in Canvas I'll post this for you guys. Yeah, he's got DE0 as m over r squared f to the minus 1/2 dr wedge dt. Oh, but when he calculates DE0 in the tetrad basis, he somehow doesn't have. He's got DE0 as m over r squared E1 wedge E0. So when he converts to the e's, he doesn't have the f. How did that go? What is up with that? Wah. So he agrees with us at the first, before we converted back to the e's, but man, I want to believe you're, is it actually f squared? No, those are square roots. There's square root of f in the definition of the tetrad. And definitely root f for the one over the other one, and that's my dt, and that's my, yeah, and so when I multiply those, I definitely, the f's golly, I don't, Mr. Chat, I do not believe you. Oh man. I mean, I guess there's only one thing to do, which is to go ask Chat for a second opinion about himself.
Well, it'll just say, "You are so right. I am sorry. I made this mistake."
Yeah,
Right,
well,
yeah, exactly.
that, I mean, but then try to get it to actually admit it was wrong. That's
That's pretty easy.
well, yeah, but it will say, well, it basically will say something along the lines of, yeah, but I was mostly right. I mean, it's so very human. Like the whole, it's obnoxious. Anyway, but I'm grateful for it because otherwise, I mean, I do have some calculations in Tetrad stuff from my general relativity course, which we could look at too. But to be continued, I suppose, right? So.
And if we find a different solution that works, it's
Mhm.
a solution.
Right, and if you get inspired to work on this, this would definitely count as homework. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.